Summer is in full swing, and just like any other summer, we have way more than we need to do. We got graduation parties, Father's Day, kids are out of school wanting to do everything all of the time. It's getting hard to get any real quality time in the shop. So I'm going to revisit the CNC that I got that I did a video on a few back, and I happen to have a cedar fence picket. This build's going to be inspired by Todd from Finding Me. He did a video a while back on a solar lantern that I'm going to try to put my own twist on it and see how it comes out. Let's build it. Gonna start off by taking the cedar picket, and I figured decent enough length should be about 7.5 inches since this picket is 5.5 inches wide. Gonna try to use the full width of the picket and knock out 4 pieces here of 7.5 inches, and then after that I'm just going to square it up for the top and make it simple. I'll just keep the lantern itself 5.5 inches wide square and then by the 7.5 inches tall. And I think that will make a lantern that is big enough to be decorative, but not overly big so it's going to be excessively gaudy or anything. Now I'm going to start with the top here on the CNC. Going to bore out 4 holes in the corners for the hanger. Just going to use some paracord, make this nice, simple, and easy. And then I'll go ahead and make a recess in this piece in the center. I'm going to go down roughly, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch, shy of a quarter. We'll kind of do something in between. And once that recess is done, I'm going to cut the center out and leave a couple tabs in place to hold the centerpiece in, and we'll get those knocked out. Got the first piece done off the CNC. Didn't turn out too awful shabby at all, I don't think. So now all I'm going to do is cut these tabs, remove that middle, and this is the solar lamp that I have. Just one that I found locally at a store, so it will nestle right down in there. The best thing about using the CNC for this is about 3 3/16. So to do it manually, I would have probably had to take a 2-inch hole saw, which is this inner through hole, and then I would have had to create a template and route this little recess, because if you can see, there's a lip there that the solar light's gonna sit on. So I'll go ahead and get this cut out and give her a little sanding, and we'll get on to the next piece. Got those tabs all knocked out, and I just used a file to file them down. So now this piece will sit in here like this, and that LED will be able to shine down into the lantern. Now I'm going to take these side pieces and I'm putting them outside facing down. What I'm going to do is route out a channel in these sides, kind of like a picture frame, and then come in about 1/8 of an inch from that channel and cut all the way through the panel. And of course you can see there, leaving some tabs so the piece doesn't go flying or running amok or anything like that. And then I'll take these center pieces out and get to cleaning them up. So I made a critical error in my mathing skills. This is 5.5 by 5.5. I made these 5.5 wide. I was planning on doing some butt joints to get them joined together. That math don't work. As soon as you put that like that, you don't got no room for a butt joint. So I did some reconfiguring and put some 45-degree angles on this. It did come awfully close to that channel I routed out there on the CNC, but I think this will work. So I'm going to go ahead and get this glued together here and get the box and then get the top on top of it. And what I'm going to do in here is take some stained glass I got from the hobby shop, and I'm going to epoxy that in. So I'll go ahead and get this glued up, and we'll get the glass epoxied in. So I took a little bit of time, got everything all sanded down nice, got the top sanded down, put my two different colors of stained glass in the panels, alternating every other one. Got my little solar light in, which is just one of these little jobs, real cheap, easy, and affordable to get. And I think it actually makes a pretty good garden lantern, something to kind of dress up the garden a little bit. But it's when the lights go out, this project really shines. What I did is I laser cut some little cutouts of butterflies and dragonflies and glued them to the inside of the glass. So that way you get one look during the day while it's not lit up, and then at night it becomes a completely different piece for the garden. That's going to do it this time. Thanks for coming along with me on this build, and thanks for watching.